Hello my boys, good morning. In this fine morning we're gonna talk about some questions that have been going on in the community. First of all, does item rarity affect currency drop? This is actually quite big. And I found some official responses from GGG that I will put now on the screen, and we start with that. And then I will talk about item rarity in general, because there are some important things to address there. So let's start first with the official response from GGG regarding currency drops and rarity. Keep in mind that this is from 2023. It's possible that things could have changed during these years, but it's important to hear what Jonathan Rogers has to say. So let's start with this.
Okay. But there is some stuff, well, maybe it's a little bit in the weeds, but there's some stuff to do with the way that rarity affects things that's a little bit more, it's probably a bit too complicated to get into, but rarity affects things a little bit differently than how it used to. And you know, we're intending to use less quantity on things and use rarity instead, and therefore we had to make it so that rarity can, for example, make it so you get more high-tier currency rather than requiring quantity to get that. So basically, like, the intention is that rarity, like more rarity should feel like you're getting more valuable stuff and you don't have to use quantity to be able to get more currency and that sort of thing. So there's just some changes around that are a bit more subtle too.
We've also removed the currency drop penalty on bosses, which I don't know if people know exists, but that was, if anyone has done, I've seen it posted before, of when you kill bosses you rarely get currency items, and now the best way to get high-tier currency is from bosses.
Yes. Because of the rarity bonus thing and rarity affecting it.
Okay, and I have one more segment here, which is pretty interesting to hear. Let's play it.
We kind of touched on this earlier, but just to clarify, magic find in PoE 2 will still be a thing, yes?
Of course.
Yes.
Because we talked about
and it'll be better than before. It'll help you find more currency now.
Yeah, and also more gold.
So here we heard it from Jonathan Rogers that rarity affects currency drops. Indeed, this is in year 2023, but that was the main plan then. Yeah. Now we need to talk about the rarity values. How much is enough? I need to stress that I heard a lot of people saying that they cannot farm currency in this game because they don't have enough rarity. Some of them even quitted the game because they seen some big streamers with a lot of rarity getting currency, and they started saying, man, I can't get that much, you know. I need to stress, in case you're new to the channel, that I've been farming till yesterday without any rarity maps, yeah? And I'm getting pretty good currency, so it's not like that. It's not like you won't make any currency if you don't have rarity. I need to stress that I was using 0 rarity until yesterday when I seen this material and I took some rings with some rarity. And by this, I'm not saying that rarity is something bad or detrimental. I just want to give you an extreme example with someone that didn't have any rarity and still he managed to farm good currency. As a matter of fact, I did some recent videos on my channel and I explained that I'm averaging around 10 exalted orbs, 20 exalted orbs per map. I'm using a simple strategy, I will tell it even now, I will repeat it. I'm juicing all my waystones with this one, this tile tire that will guarantee that we have a delirium layer in our maps, and this will allow me to drop extra simulacrum splinters. A simulacrum splitter is more than 1 exalted orb. As for the Atlas setup, I'm using something very simple that even a casual player can do. Everyone at the moment focuses on these keystones and notes that pretty much is similar to Back to Basics from Path of Exile 1. No, I'm using something very simple. For Waystone Sustain, I will tell these notes here that increase the chance of finding higher tier waystones, and here I'm taking more rares in my maps, and this keystone that grants those rares more modifiers. So basically I'm getting more rares and I'm juicing those rares for more drops. This is a very simple strategy. Even you don't need a strong build, you know, if you're doing with these keystones, some of these maps can become very deadly. No, I'm using a very simple strategy and I'm still averaging 10-20 exalted orbs per map. Yeah, so channel viewers know that I'm getting more than that. Actually, I'm getting more than that, but it's another story. And I've noticed and I've discussed that the best currency drops, you get it from the rares and the uniques. And even in that video, if you remember that I put on the screen, that guy told you that the best way to find high-tech currency is from doing bosses. So basically what he says is the rarer the monster is, the higher chance that you'll find currency. Now, guys with a lot of magic find, usually they find breach. And if you don't know, in breach you find a lot of rares, man, like more than 5 rares, more than 10 rares. That's why they drop a lot of currency. My guess is from those rares they find the divine orbs, exalted orbs. So rares are inclined of getting more currency. Now having item rarity indeed helps with finding better currency, but usually it's the rares and the uniques that give you the currency, which brings me to my next point. How much rarity is enough? Yeah, because there are some streamers that have 300, 400 or even more rarity, and the poor casual player that barely can make some exalted top sees those videos and he starts thinking in his head, man, I need to have those values. I need to get 300 rarity, 400 rarity. Man, you don't need that. Plus, we had some guys that did some tests. We have plenty of tests on the Discord, on Reddit. They did various tests with multiple runs, different rarity values, 100, 200, 300. And what they noticed, for the high-tech currency, you know, like exalted orbs, divine orbs, even this one, greater jewel, perfect jewel, there's no difference, you know, after 100. Yeah. So don't exaggerate. In Path of Exile, even in Diablo 2, we have a thing called diminishing returns that kicks in hard. So the difference from, let's say, 100, 300, it's not that significant as people think. So my suggestion is, rarity is good. You take it, but don't exaggerate. You know, around 100 is more than enough. Here I just took on the rings. I changed my rings with some rarity here and some rarity here, and it's not even 100. It's close to 100, and I will keep doing my strategy with taking a lot of rares and juicing them with more modifiers and some rarity now that hopefully will help. If I was getting 10, 20 exalted as without rarity, now it should be better, no? I will post my results also, but don't exaggerate. People exaggerate, they say rarity is mandatory, you cannot make currency in this game without rarity. Not true. Not true. Not to mention that we have certain side content in this game that where rarity is not that impactful, like ritual, for example, or if you do ultimatums, Sekema trials. So there are options. There are options. Yeah. Even normal maps, if you put some delirium oils here, you'll have a good time. So don't exaggerate. Don't blame it on the rarity. I think this is an excuse to quit the game, that you cannot farm currency because of rarity. And keep in mind, when you see someone with 500 rarity, 400 rarity, you need to put some questions about that guy, yeah? Build cost, how much he invested in his build? How much does he play per day? How much time he spends playing the game? His past. In the past, how much currency does he generally make? There are some smart questions that we need to address. So another thing, when you're taking large amounts of rarity, you're sacrificing offenses and defenses. So even in Path of Exile 2, all these modifiers can be included into 3 big categories. We have offenses, defenses, and magic find. Jonathan Rogers himself talked about this multiple times. I know that there was a video yesterday done by Paulson, and he explained that there are more. Like, we have area of effect. No, area of effect impacts the clear speed, therefore it's for offenses, you know. Recovery helps, it's in the defensive section, you know. Attacks because speed, oh, it's in the offensive section. Totem placement speed, you place your totem faster, you clear the map faster, so it's in the offenses. Actually, there are only 3 big categories, and people that invest a lot into item rarity, they are sacrificing offenses and defenses, so there is a price to pay. Now, I'm not that happy personally that this impacts currency. I think they should remove this, because already they get value from the uniques and the rares they drop more often. You will see a lot of rares and uniques, and this is a power by himself. Also the tiers, because in Path of Exile 2, as you notice, some items drop with tiers attached to them. That means those rares are of higher potential to be expensive, and already they get good value. I don't know why GGG decided to add even currency to this. Maybe they will realize that this was a mistake to add currency to the rarity, yeah? And they should remove that, in my opinion, and everything will be fine. This is an ongoing discussion. I think GGG is all ears. Already GGG is scared about all the nerfs that they need to do in order to balance the builds. And overall, what I think about this game. Let's conclude this on a positive note. The game is lacking content now for the end game, but I'm very positive because they will add the divination cards. The divination cards alone will make a lot of players return to the game, because I know some of you quitted the game because you got bored. You will have certain maps that drop certain divination cards, it's my guess. Also, they will add the crafting bench. Jonathan Rogers said that they are taking into account if the player base wants a crafting bench, they will add it. So this will give you some crafting flexibility for items, which will be good. They will add more classes, they will add more skills. Game will be good. Now, it's lacking content, but keep in mind, early access lasts 8 months, so more stuff will be added. Now, we have the Path of Exile 1 League starting in like 1 month, and we'll see a lot of gameplay, because Path of Exile 2 it's not polished enough. And I explained that the next League 326 will see a lot of play, but later, as they add more and more content to Path of Exile 2, you will see that people will be inclined to play more Path of Exile 2. Enough talking. I hope this video was useful. Enjoy the rest of the day, and good luck.